It's my first full week of being unemployed. If you didn't already know, I had to quit my job. My last day was last Monday. So this is my first full week. I'm not really counting last week, but I'm kind of counting it. I didn't want to quit. It was the right decision, but basically I didn't want to. So I'm kind of forced into this position where I have to figure out other ways to make money. We're doing things like selling flipped furniture, possible tech consulting. We're doing really anything that we can possibly think about. We're also spending little to no money as we can. So what's on the agenda for this week? Number one and most importantly, my sister-in-law is going to be having a baby. Yeah, so that is big news. That is definitely my focus for this week. But then some of the other things we've got on deck is I need to finish embroidering the towel robe that I made my friend last week because her birthday party is this Friday. We're also gonna transform my dark and kind of dungy bathroom because I live in an 800 square foot house and my bathroom is probably 5 square feet altogether. So we're gonna kind of transform it with a stained glass window film. See how that goes? It was $8, so might as well see what it actually looks like. Huge one that's on deck. We are finally cracking open the garden for this season. My garden is in some pretty rough shape after this winter. I definitely just kind of let it go when I'm not in the summer outside season. So I've got a lot to clean up. We're gonna throw some seeds. We're gonna start some seeds. We're gonna really kind of think about how to get it going. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm thinking embroider on the back. Break for the night from embroidering, but what do you guys think? Her name is Annalyn. That's why we're almost there. I did the hack where you do hot glue and then you just kind of wrap the embroidery around it. It's definitely, again, it's not perfect, but just imagine. She throws this on after a shower, after a cozy bath, maybe after a pool day. Let's see the back. Oh. That I think is giving what I need it to be giving. So we'll come back to this tomorrow. Ta-da! I finished her. You guys, I'm actually obsessed. It fits like a real robe. I've literally never made anything that looks this good. Yeah. My daughter's nodding right back at me. Okay, all the other robes, the 2 robes that I've made before, don't actually end up looking like real robes. This looks like a real robe. She's still imperfect, but it's so cute. I embroidered my friend's name on the back. She has a surprise party tonight, which I'm so excited about. I saw her this morning, and let me tell you guys, she has literally no clue. Let me try this on so you guys can see how the fit is. I'll put the link to the pattern that I used in the description of this video. The pattern was so easy. It's not the kind of pattern, I bet they did have the option if you wanted to print it out, but I don't really love to go through the effort of printing patterns out and then cutting it out. So I just kind of followed her guidance and look, it literally fits like a glove. It's oversized, but it's comfy. The baggy sleeves, but they fit just right. And the cute little spot birdie on the back is literally my favorite. These towels were from Target. There were some similar ones on Amazon that I was going back and forth on, but this is like absolutely the cutest thing that I've ever made. Took me about 500 hours to do so, but it's a win. So y'all, this summer, all right y'all, it's been dark in here for a long time, and I want to be able to use this stained glass window film. This was only $8. I feel like this is gonna give me exactly what I need. We need to be able to A, let natural light in, and B, give some privacy for whoever's out in the backyard and whoever might be in the bathroom. So let's start by taking this off. Oh. Step 1. Ding! Choke. Step 2. Oh. What are the odds this is actually gonna be way easier than I had realized? Okay. My gosh. Is this dangerous? Maybe. Do I care? No. That was literally so simple. Well, that was so easy. Okay, now to see this part. Guess they give you a little spray bottle. Unknown what that's for, but we'll figure that out. Gosh, how many trinkets are in here? I got nervous for a second that there was no directions. Wait, I love that it says warm reminder. Just a warm reminder. That's all I need. Okay. Measure windows and cut film. Clean the window thoroughly. Spray plain soapy water generously on film and window. Remove the film's back cover. Place the wet film on glass. Okay, let's start by cutting it. I feel like people have said to kind of give yourself more than you realize, because then you can just trim it up afterwards. Okay, is this gonna be cute or is this gonna be really, really cute? And then generously on film and window. How are you supposed to know what is the back and what is the front? Maybe we're about to find out. Why is this part always the most impossible part to get? Okay. Okay. Okay, wait, should I do the thing? No. Full sending it. Okay. Okay. Wait, that is really nice because then you can kind of wriggle it around. Look at this guy. There we go. Okay, you guys. We're booked in business. I recently posted on Instagram about this striped chair that we did in last week's vlog, and you guys, the people ain't loving it. Which, to be honest, I feel like that kind of goes exactly to everything that I hope I can encourage y'all in, that with your style, it's really okay if other people don't like it, because that chair was gonna go to the trash. Like, the chair was either gonna come home with me and get redesigned, or it was gonna be in the trash. And so the fact that I made it a pattern and style that totally fits my design style and the things that I really like, but other people don't, who cares? That's not my problem. If you don't like it, that's great that it's not in your house. And if you don't like watching it on my feed, then you can see yourself to the door. I know I've talked about this on some of my other social media channels, but like, I am A-okay with people unfollowing me. I feel like that almost like kind of aligns to, and it affirms to me that I'm being myself. If somebody sees what I'm posting and they're like, yeah, that's not for me, dog. You know, like, I'm clearly then being so myself that they're not interested, which is okay. And that's great, actually. This reminds me of when you like get a new screen, but it used to be that like the only way to install a screen protector would be to go to like the Apple store or the Verizon store and have them do it, because they like get out all their little supplies, the squeegee, all of the above. Okay. Now here's a question. Is there any part of you that thinks I should skip doing the top? Like, should I not do the top? I feel like it'd look weirder if I didn't, right? I'm gonna do the top and then I can just take it off if I want to. I just realized that they don't line up to each other. I'm trying to decide how bad that is, that they don't line up. Like, do I need to completely start over? I don't know. I might wait until the morning, see what it looks like in the sunlight, and then go from there. Because even if they were different pieces of stained glass, maybe they were different layouts? I don't know. I'm trying to come up with, for some reason, that I don't have to do that again. Even though it was very easy. Don't get me wrong. That was actually very simple and easy. I'm just worried that I don't have enough left to do it again. Okay, it's time for the reveal. I'm actually obsessed with it. This is it without the lights on. Then with the lights on, obviously. Here's what it is. I need y'all to let me know if the lines are so off that we need to fix it. And even maybe it's not that bad because on camera I can hardly even tell. Do the lines look weird? Like, is it throwing you off? If not, then we might be in business. I am in a fight with our previous homeowners because the brackets that held up the blinds, the screws were stripped. So I spent a very, very, very long time getting out one of them. But the other one, it's like the one last screw, I cannot get it out. And it's in such an awkward position that I like can't fit my drill up in there to maybe try and grab onto it and unscrew it. So we're gonna be figuring out what to do with that. I also think I need to move this toilet paper holder because the black is just like really throwing me off. And also it's just like clearly it's not needed in this space. Had to touch up some paint as well, but we are well on our way to this being a finished space. I love it. I also really don't think, because I moved the toilet paper holder around, it doesn't look as much like in the way. So it's breathtaking. I'm obsessed. This was literally the easiest thing for me to actually do, but also made such a major impact on this type of space. The plant that I originally had in this space sadly died in the storm, and so my mother-in-law gave me a cutting from this plant, which I honestly don't even know the name of it. This was a pretty big cutting. I literally just put some soil in there, stuck it in there. I really hope it works because it looks pretty beautiful in this space. And y'all could see that light coming in. Normally this bathroom is probably my least favorite space in the entire house, so the fact that we were able to make it that much more joyful is making a big difference for me. I also will say, y'all may be wondering why is there this piece of paper right in the middle of your mirror. This was a Valentine's Day note from my husband, and one thing for me is when I look at myself in the mirror, I can often be pretty critical of immediately thinking, oh, something looks weird, what's wrong with me, etc. But having this, and I honestly kept it on my mirror, it's a little bit folded, you can see, makes such a big difference because now when I immediately look in the mirror, I see the nice things that my husband has said about me. We recently redesigned this space to be much more functional. Previously, it was definitely more of a dedicated guest room with a workspace on the side, where the issue was we spend 90% of our time in this room working. So to have it be mainly a guest room and then only small parts dedicated to working just wasn't gonna match what we needed. But the beneficial thing is that it's very functional for us to work, and then now when we need, because my niece is coming to stay with us, we need to turn it into a guest room. So I can easily put all the stuff away and then kind of dedicate this area to the pack and play where she's gonna stay, really make it a cozy, comfortable spot, and also put all the other stuff out of the way where it doesn't need to be. I think it's important that everything has a home. That's something I'm really intentional about, of thinking about where does each item actually belong and making sure that that's functional. So let's try and put up this pack and play. Normally this is my husband's job, so let's see if we can do it together. Okay. Last one. Here's a hack. If you are a parent and you're wanting a good pack and play that's gonna be actually comfortable for them to sleep in, we bought a very inexpensive pack and play, one that's like light, it's functional, does the job, but this is hard as a rock. Obviously because they want it to be breathable and light. But if you get the nested mini crib and you upgrade the mattress, you then have 2 of these baby bassinet mini crib mattresses. They lay side by side. So it's a breathable mattress. I know that whoever's in here is going to be safe and sound, but this just makes it that much more comfortable for the baby to actually sleep in. It's crazy when it comes to baby stuff, how expensive stuff gets. So let me know if there's anything y'all are looking for specifically for babies, kids, and I'm happy to share some of my recommendations. One of the biggest hacks I have if you're a new mom or a parent to young kids is to get a coffee table like this where you can put all of the books underneath. Granted, it looks like a mess right now. We've got a whole lot of books going on, but you can see that my daughter will come over here, she'll crawl over, and she will pull out and read all of these books. It is endless entertainment, and it gets her reading the books, flipping through them, and so it's such a good way to have some toys set up and ready to go. It looks cute in our space, but it doesn't require a lot of work on my end, so I can easily just kind of set her down, let her go, and she will be playing and moving with those books. Had 2 kids here. I only have 1 daughter, but we were watching our niece for the 24 hours, and let me tell you, 2 kids definitely play harder than 1. So let's go ahead and clean up this mess. Her baby, so let me show you the 3 things that I'm bringing to her today that aren't just a dinner. One is an easy breakfast. These egg bites, you can basically throw whatever you want in there into a muffin tray, cook it in the oven, and then freeze it so then they can reheat it whenever they want. I love a combination of eggs, sausage, hash browns, green chilies. They're not spicy, but they just add a great flavor. Seasonings, cheese, etc. You can make it dietary friendly, whatever you prefer. But they're really good if a mother is needing that extra nutritious, but also if they're breastfeeding, it's really helpful to have a lot of eggs and nutritious stuff like that. Another one that's really helpful if they're a breastfeeding mother, but also any moms in general, these dark chocolate peanut butter oatmeal balls. I had so many of these when I was postpartum. Oats are really, really good for breast milk production. So these are delicious. The hack is to get dark chocolate chunks. They're so, so good. Last but not least is like a snacky item that they could have for lunch rather than just dinner leftovers. So I did some chicken Caesar salad wraps with some more chicken that they can use for anything else. So this is again another thing that's easy to grab and go that isn't your typical large dinner. It's definitely nice to give gift cards, DoorDash, stuff like that. But I also feel like you really want hearty home cooked meals, and so making stuff like this at home is not only inexpensive for you, but it's going to be probably way better for the mom. Welcome to the garden. I've been gardening for a few years, and this is another thing that I feel like I've been intimidated by in the past. But a few years ago, my in-laws actually, who are incredible gardeners, really encouraged me that it's not that hard. And honestly, I feel like with gardening, what's gonna grow is gonna grow. Like, let's go back to the plant life cycle. As long as we have water, the plants have food, it's going to grow. And if it's not gonna grow, maybe it's not meant for this ecosystem. Now, the current situation is looking pretty rough. We had ice storm that knocked out a bunch of trees. We've had leaves, all sorts of array. And yeah, that may or may not be our Christmas tree laying on the other side of that. The sun has conveniently come out for this part, so let's get it going. One area, the garden bed's fixed, but alas, we we've got a whole other area to solve. Those branches and Christmas tree and all of those that we still need to take care of. Literally dangling from the sky. I'm nervous to be out here by myself. We've also got our lights that are a mess, and also our screen door broke. So there's definitely still a lot to clean up. In this journal have saved like every year's garden plan, and then have kind of added some different photos to it, which is what I feel like is a sweet way to reflect on what actually works well, what I should try harder at, or things that I should avoid. Okay, so things that I have done well with: tomatoes and zinnias. Those are like my strengths. I also love growing kale. It's so easy and we eat kale all the time. A couple of things that we have: lavender. I've tried lavender, y'all, many times, and it hasn't gone ever well. I've never grown it before. So I've got marigold, which is gonna be beautiful. Gisophila, maybe, that's another flower it looks like. Cucumber, which again, I've never done cucumber before. Some herbs of cilantro and basil. Today, I went to Dollar Tree. 4 packs of zinnias because these are just so easy. And just a couple other random ones that I hadn't gotten yet. We've got our kale, some hot peppers, some tomatoes, regular Roma tomatoes, cosmos, lettuce. Never done that before. So we'll figure it out. So I'm curious where you're at. What are you wanting to grow? Do you start seeds? Do you kind of throw them and just see what comes? So let me know down in the comments what type of gardener you are. You guys, this is the part of gardening season that is not very pretty. We do have the beds cleaned up, so that is way better than we were at the other day. It still looks incredibly rough. We're not to our last frost date yet. So what that kind of means is that we're gonna be able to throw some seeds. Y'all will very quickly see my method of gardening is definitely like, we're gonna see what grows. I'm gonna try and grow the things that I like, but we're gonna have a very open hand with it. So the things that we're gonna throw right now are things that can survive that early frost. We've got kale, lettuce, and beets. I've never done lettuce or beets before, so let's see how it goes. All right, the kale seed, I have gotten myself into trouble before because when it starts to grow, it does kind of look like, it kind of looks like grass, so I accidentally pluck it. We're gonna hope for not that this year. Way to measure exactly where it, yeah, no. I do this style of just like tossing it in and hoping for the best. And I hate to say it, it has worked out for me. So I'm gonna keep doing it. Again, not everything always grows, but that is okay. All right, we've got some seeds directly in the ground. Our frost date has not fully passed yet, so we're gonna also start some seeds in some old milk containers. I feel like, you guys, gardening is really so accessible. It doesn't have to be as expensive as it appears to be because you don't need all the perfect items. I've got some old milk jugs, an old food container. Literally whatever plastics you have around your house are a great way to do this. I also, as you guys know, have some seeds from the dollar store. So we're gonna go ahead and cut open these guys so that we can start to actually use them to put our seeds and our starters in. Also, if you see me looking over there, it's because it's nap time right now, and this is the current nap location. So, can you imagine just like taking a beautiful nap, fan blowing on you? Like, this is the vibe. There we go. You don't need to cut all the way around because you still want to have some room to be able to open, close it, like so. My sister-in-law grows these beautiful loofahs that we get for a Christmas present every year that are perfect to use in the bath, to use to wash your dishes, literally whatever. So we're gonna try and grow them this year. And I also feel like using a muffin container like this is a great way to like put multiple varieties in one go, but not have to, because my thing is that I'm always confused what I actually put in the different sections. So this will be a good way for me to actually remember.